everyone.
I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Ellie.
And we're Ace.
Yeah. So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Ryan Higa, icon.
I'm just an icon living.
Correct. So he was born in Hilo, Hawaii, which is allegedly small. I don't really know anything about Hawaii, whatever. He's 29 years old.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. He was born in 1990, which is disgusting. And so he has two channels. His original one is called Niga Higa, which is like the name that most people know him by. And then he also has Higa TV. And so on his main account, Niga Higa, he has like 21 million subscribers. And then on his side channel, Higa TV, he only has like 5 million.
I'll lose there.
And like Niga Higa is like, again, it's like the original one. So it's mostly like himself and like his podcasts. So there's not a lot of other people in it. Like he'll have like guests on his podcast, but that's about it. And then Higa TV is the one where he like gets with like all his friends and like does things. Like I think he has a whole like parkour thing or whatever. Well, anyway, yeah, and then so he has 28.3 thousand followers on Twitter. Ooh. And 2.4 million followers on Instagram. So it's popping off.
Bretman Rock has more. I don't know, actually I don't know how much he has.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I think it was like 20 something too.
Yeah,
that was really big.
So anyway, he also he's dating Arden Cho from Teen Wolf, which is like
How?
Interesting, cause like he's like that, but whatever. And so he started YouTube like kind of earlier this decade.
Wow. Oh my gosh, 2020 coming.
Oh my god. I think he started in like 2009, 2010-ish. And then he had like the How to Be Blade.
Oh, I was doing so funny.
Yeah. Like How to Be Ninja, How to Be Gangster, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I picked a few. So I have one old one to look at. And then I have a couple newer ones. And then so the old one here is called Are Asian Stereotypes True?
Oh.
It's from 2015.
Hey guys,
shut up, bro. Okay.
Hey guys, so I play basketball at a public park a lot, and I was kind of inspired to make this video. And there's
Also,
not
he's
just
out of
Asians at this
focus
park,
the
there's
entire
every
time.
ethnicity that goes
annoying.
there.
Yeah,
Black,
it's really
white,
annoying.
Indian, Hispanic, pretty much every single race you can think of. And if you've ever been to a public
Indian
basketball
race.
park, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say there's a lot of racist jokes that goes on there. And for some reason, most of them are targeted towards the Asians. For example, when we're picking teams, they'll point at me and say, hey, give me Jeremy Lin over there. And obviously I don't look like him, it's just the fact that I'm playing basketball and I'm Asian. And there's two ways that I could easily take that. I could either act really offended and say, damn bro, that's racist. Or I could just make a joke out of it and make it seem like it's not a big deal, which is what I usually do. And it works. Or another example, if I were to pass the ball and it got stolen, I wouldn't be surprised if one of my teammates said, hey, come on, you gotta open your eyes, bro. Because Asians have small eyes, right? Or even if they were to pass the ball and it got stolen by another Asian on the other team, they would say something like, oh my bad, I thought you were the Jeremy Lin on my team, all you Asians look alike. Because we all look exactly the same, right? Or even sometimes when they ask me the score, hey yo, Jeremy Lin, what's the score? And I'd be like, not sure. What? I thought all you Asians were supposed to be good at math. Well, no, but actually I think the score is 7 to, what? Nothing, that's the score, 00 to 7. Oh, you mean it's 0 to 7? No, it's 00 to 7, 2 O's. What? 007. Sad part is I actually said that joke at the park once, and the reaction is probably the same as you guys. You know, nobody
Yeah,
laughed. Anyway,
Yeah,
this is probably another unpopular opinion that I should keep to myself, but I'm not going to. But I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I personally do not get offended by Asian stereotypes anymore. Because if you really think about it, stereotypes, not just Asian stereotypes, but all stereotypes from other ethnicities are somewhat based off of truth. And not just getting offended by them and trying to I think it's a lot better if we were to accept the stereotypes so that we can break through them instead. Now, before all my fellow Asian people attack me for this opinion, just think I know that most Asian stereotypes are hugely over-exaggerated, and they definitely don't apply to everyone, but in general, stereotypes come from some truth, and that's why they shouldn't be offensive to you. Like, for example, when I say Asian stereotypes, I know one of the first things that comes to mind when you look at me is that, oh, he's Asian, and we all know the stereotype for Asians is that he has a little, well, Sony or Yamaha or some other kind of type of Asian stereo. And you're absolutely right, I have a little Sony stereo right here. My point is, to all my fellow Asians out there, I used to be one of those people that got insulted by Asian stereotypes, and I used to deny that they weren't true. But the thing is, that's never gonna work. Asian stereotypes aren't going anywhere because they are based off of truth. Rather than being offended and trying to deny stereotypes, I say just own it. Don't give it the satisfaction of being insulted.
People call me a beaner then? I don't eat beans every day.
Obviously, it's an exaggeration and it doesn't apply to every Asian, but statistically, it's true. Asians have smaller eyes. It's not even an insult to me. In fact, it's better to have small eyes. We can get away with falling asleep in class, and if a professor or teacher were to tell us to wake up and open our eyes, we can say, well, that's kind of racist, sir. Okay, that was kind of an insult, but I'm Asian, so I can. Another common Asian stereotype is that all Asians are good at math. Now, I don't even know why Asian people get offended by this one. It's a compliment. And again,
oh my gosh!
Everyone. I mean, I can name 5 Asians off the top of my head that aren't good at math. Sean, Greg, Derek, me. But for the most part, it's true. Statistically, most Asians around the world are good at math. I think that's pretty much get the point, but I'm going to name a few more. Asians have poor English. Yeah, a lot of Asians do. But for those people, it's because English is their second language. If English were their first language, they would sound just like me. And I'm gooder than most non-Asian people my English is, that is. All Asians are bad at sports. Oh, all Asians are bad at sports? Try saying that to Jeremy Lin. He's so good at Dota, you don't even know. Asians only eat rice. Okay, this one is a little racist because it's not true at all. We also eat the noodle. All Asians do martial arts.
Oh my god!
But most martial arts are from Asia. Even if that's not true for everyone, why wouldn't you want people to know that? That's cool. Kung Fu, Karate, Kendo, Judo, Aikido. I can understand why that's a stereotype. Asians have bad teeth. Okay, this one is an insult.
Like 3 of those were just from Japan.
Basically, you're saying Asians have bad teeth, they're not beautiful. I mean, but let's be real for a second. You can't really get offended by this. About 50% of all the Asian kids I knew had braces. The other half were either really lucky or they still do need braces. Again, don't get offended by it. Just own it. Yeah, I got messed up teeth, but I can get braces. What you gonna do about your face?
That means you.
Again, so much for watching. If you want to see videos again.
That was that.
I don't like that.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, it's... I really hate that he's like, oh, I'm Asian, so I can do it too. It's like... Okay. Anyway.
He didn't talk about colorism.
Let's keep going.
Basically, just telling us how to not be offended.
We have to embrace
Or not to be
ourselves.
offended.
Yeah.
Bitch. By stereotype.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so this one is... a podcast with his mom.
He's a beard.
Yeah, he has a beard in this one and it's really gross.
Doesn't fit his
And
face.
so let's see. So in this one they're talking about like his YouTube career pretty much.
But yeah, so going into a meeting together, I think a lot of people don't know this. Not so behind the scenes, because you didn't really go specifically into what you do, but you are like an acting manager for him, right?
Yeah, but I don't like to say I'm his manager.
You don't like to
know?
say, but that's your
I
job.
don't. I don't manage
Momager.
him. I mean, I do things that make his job easier or gives him time to do what he needs to do, which is like create, right?
Yeah.
So I do all of the other things, the business side of it. And then like, when you guys come, I know he's not going to cook, so I'll cook for you folks.
Yeah.
Make the snacks, clean up. He doesn't have time.
Can't you clean up a mess? He's a grown ass man.
Manager,
Fucking
caterer.
30 years old.
He better pay her.
Well, she used to actually
you-
be an accountant,
Right.
retired now, right?
And when you retired, were you still? I guess was Ryan. When did you start kind of like helping him out on the business aspect?
So I think it was good because we kind of grew together, right? Like we both knew nothing of YouTube, and so we
Yep.
kind of like learned together. So I think it was kind of helpful for the relationship because it wasn't like I knew more than him, he didn't know more than me, and so we kind of just helped each other along the way. So it was pretty good.
And a lot of mistakes
Yeah.
were made,
Mhm.
but learning experiences.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
With that, because a lot of especially Asian parents
Mhm.
would not allow their child to go in something in like a creative aspect. But because you guys were growing together, do you think that helped, or what helped you be more understanding and lenient of letting your son go into this when your other better son, Kyle, is an X-ray technician, right?
Right.
And he he graduated,
Right.
and you know he is about to get married, and
Oh, shit.
he has a career. I mean, Kyle's. I don't know, Kyle. I think Kyle's a better child. Yeah. So when he dropped out, I guess. What was making you so like understanding and accepting of that? Because your first kid was like went through the usual, you know, school, career,
Right,
all
right.
that stuff.
Oh no, we still wanted him to go to school. You know, it's not like we said like, oh yeah, go for it. You know, but I think it's a parent's. Well, the way we think is that you want your kid to do something that they enjoy, right? And so you force your kid to do something, and what if they hate it? But you also, as a parent, want to tell them the downside of what it is. You know, so I remember I told him, well, you know, if you do this and it ends and you go back to college, your friends are all graduated, they'd be working, and he's like, yeah, but okay. And then I was like, well, you know, you just have to give them the downside because that's all you can do. As long as you make them aware.
A little sleepy.
And that's part of your job is to just give them guidance.
She has a really nice voice.
Really, you just want them to do what they want to do and then support them.
How about
Okay, so that was the first clip from that video, and then this is the next part where she also kind of talks about being his mom.
And then when I brought it up to them, I was like surprised. I thought there was gonna be more pushback. It wasn't like the stories that you hear from a lot of other like so-called Asian parents.
Yeah.
I think a lot of parents would feel the same, but it wasn't
So-called
like dramatic.
But I also think because we come from Hawaii, it's a little bit different from us. Because we do have Asian parents,
Privilege, privilege.
but I guess the Hawaii culture, you guys are more like lenient and understanding of different things. You know, you're not necessarily.
You're talking like first generation Asian parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like this is the model you follow. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has. I mean, she has other than a Hawaiian like pidgin accent. She doesn't have an accent, and she's like, what are you, third generation?
Third.
Because your grandfather
Right, came from
immigrated
Japan.
right to Hawaii.
Right.
So even my grandparents don't have accents.
Right.
Well, pidgin.
Well, they were
accents.
born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I guess because so you were born in Hawaii, right? Big Island.
Right.
And you have kind of a bigger family, right? When you
Big
were
Island.
growing up, what parallels do you see similar to Ryan growing up? So, you know, we can get to know a little bit more about you, get to know a little bit more about Ryan, because we touched on it a little bit. You said that you as well have ADHD, right? So, like, when you were growing up and you saw Ryan growing up, like, what did you see similarities a lot of?
Jeez.
Were you a troublemaker?
Jeez?
Did you punch girls in the
Oh, I
stomach?
think she said jeez.
No, but you know what? I did hit a boy.
Congrats.
See, we're both sexist.
Bitch, shut the fuck
I was
up.
older. I wasn't like kindergarten. This is what my dad tells me. I don't quite remember, but you know, that's what he told me is the boy's father came to our house. I think he was Asian also. And
What does that have to do with it?
Well, so I guess he was a little bit more understanding.
Okay.
You know, because
Okay.
the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I was doing it because I hated him or anything. I think he either he must have harassed me or something. I don't know what it was. It had to be like around, I'd say, second grade. But I remember that.
Where did you punch him?
No, I don't even know like how I hit him, but I vaguely remember. Oh yeah, the dad came to our house. I mean, I know who the boy is.
Still to this day.
Yes.
And he still lives in Hilo. That's a small town.
No,
We
Oahu.
can find him.
No, Oahu.
Oh.
He lives in Honolulu.
Did you know about this story?
No, I didn't know she punched. See, they can't. If I knew this back when I was a kindergartner, I would have been like, you used to do that too.
That could be like a contrast to like Bretman Rock's like relationship with his mother. Let's move on. The next video is with Timothy DeLaGhetto. Yeah. And it's literally like a whole last hour, so I like didn't even. I like got halfway through and I was like, I can't. Well, but I was
in the U.S.
I was also watching it on like 2 times speed, and I got to like the 30-minute mark, and I was like, God, I can't.
And that's when I started the Timothy DeLaGhetto account, and then I lost that one because I don't know if you remember, but way back then when YouTube first started out, there was no like moderation, you know, no one really paying attention to how everything worked. But if somebody just flagged your video enough, it would just get taken down.
Yep, I do remember.
Right?
that,
So there was no,
do
limited access or 18 or older. It was just automatically taken down.
Yeah.
And then they also had a 3 strike rule.
Mhm.
So if you had 3 videos taken down, your channel was just deleted, you
Right.
know? And then I think there was a time on my original Timothy Ghetto channel where I think just like a handful of like haters were just constantly flagging my videos. And within like a week and a half, it was like video taken down, video taken down, video taken down, channel suspended. And I was like,
Right.
what is happening?
Yeah.
And then I had to start over. And
Do you think
that's-
it's because I mean, like you kind of, I mean, your content, especially back then, you really like pushed the limits, right?
Yeah, and yeah, well, you know what, and
did
also back then, I
Well-
mean, I remember specifically a couple of videos that got.
I think he's
that
gonna
week.
talk
It was
about
just
Tell us about it.
It was silly stuff, bro. Like I wasn't even taking it seriously yet. It was literally like a video of me and a friend of mine like making out. One of them, and then stuff from like myself.
No wonder why.
Maybe like
Oh my god.
playing with like a butt or something. You know, this is way back. This was it's like single working at California Pizza Kitchen, Tim. Like just having fun with my friends on my phone. I was like, oh, let me upload this video of me like playing with my friend's butt. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you didn't start out rapping.
I cannot.
So yeah, there's
Weirdo.
that.
So, you know, they kind of were looking to fulfill that kind of token Asian spot, you know, because majority black cast.
Talking about the
And
rapping
Wild
show.
and Out?
Dumb
Yeah,
fella.
yeah.
Oh.
And if you ask the producer, or if you even ask Dumb, like what went wrong on his audition,
You asked him.
he'll be like, I messed up my freestyle. I don't know what happened.
Dumb is dope too.
Dumb is amazing.
Yeah, he's like a freestyle god.
I know. His freestyle is crazy, and I guess he just got nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
so I
he
was
really
like,
say
oh,
token
shit.
Asian in it
But
all
he
like
was really, like you
I
do
know,
like funny.
honestly.
Yeah.
So
but
Dumb is more like a serious.
No, he's got jokes.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Paco.
He's not serious.
He was in the other one too.
He's
Oh
dope.
shit. I don't know who that is.
Were you not paying attention?
No, I saw Paco, but I don't know who Paco is.
That
Oh.
ended up
That's
the best though.
That's
like
fine.
for the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I was.
That was the perfect show for you.
Yeah.
Like that's like your style of comedy. You were actually, I mean, like I didn't watch the show. I watched on like Facebook video and stuff like that.
Yeah, like little
a bunch
clips
of
I put
highlights
up.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And all your stuff was always like really good, like really smart, well thought out.
Thanks, man.
And sometimes it would just be so like when they would go at you.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I have a bias because I'm Asian, but like, all the jokes were the same, like every single time. I don't know. Maybe I mean I'm sure you saw a lot.
No,
of it.
you're right. Well, that's the thing too. Is like,
Same with the Nick Cannon jokes.
I know.
That was really annoying too.
well, the thing is, when people
Those are
complain
funny,
about,
though.
you know,
I like that laugh.
but at the same time, everybody kind of played their part. Like,
I got it.
you know, everyone has their role in the show where they would get made fun of for the same stuff. Like the fat dude would get the fat jokes, and you know, the white girl Justina, she gets all the "you're a whore" jokes.
But,
And
even if it's the same
Huh?
kind of joke, it's the way you tell it, right?
Totally.
So like the little, to me, you and the short black guy was really
conceited.
Yeah.
Oh, conceited! Oh, conceited is so funny!
There's another white guy in there named Sharon from Canada who's also he's good at switching up old jokes and putting a new spin on them, you know. And I always tell people, I'm like, the thing about the reason why those jokes were so easy for me to rebuttal was because I've been hearing those jokes my whole life.
Yeah,
you know
so
what I'm
it's like
saying?
nothing new. I mean,
Yeah.
So,
Jokes?
So that was. So I mean I haven't watched all of them out, so I don't really know anything on that.
Oh, I've seen it before.
But yeah, it's like I'm sure it's like open your eyes, like blah blah blah, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, but he always does it to himself too. Like
which is like
I think I
again
showed
the
you.
annoying.
So that's what Ryan was talking about,
Yeah.
where you like just
Joke
make a
about
joke
it
about
yourself.
it too,
Like, yeah.
and then move on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one more clip from this one. Like he's talking about his like first YouTube channel, or no, he's talking about his podcast, No Chaser, and a lot of like the beginning episodes he did were just like about sex and relationships, and so that's what he's talking about.
Young Asian Americans. Growing up, you know, I don't remember anybody that was like Asian and talking about stuff like that. And that was a big reason why I made my content so kind of like dirty in the beginning. Because I was like, I want to be like from the first like clip, I want people to be like, oh, this is not this is not a stereotype, you know. And I was like, and I, first of all, you know, I like talking about dirty stuff. You know, I enjoy
Yeah, we know.
butts. and talking about butts and stuff like that. And but then I remember, when I was making my YouTube content, I was like, people were already kind of shocked when they would click on my rap videos, because growing up in LA, and I feel like when you're in more diverse cities, it's not weird to see somebody that is Asian and raps and maybe walks and talks in a certain way.
Yeah.
But then when I was getting clicks from people who were I wouldn't even be saying anything on some gangster shit. I would just have a backwards hat on, and they're like, "This dude wants to be a gangster so bad," and I'm like,
I remember those comments for you.
Yeah,
But that's gangster style.
Yeah.
That's gangster culture. Gangster culture. Cholo culture.
I'm rapping a little bit. I'm not saying, nor do I claim to ever be a gangster, but for people that aren't used to that, they are so just taken aback by it. They don't know what to do. So I was like, okay, well, let me do this too. I like talking about dirty stuff. I'm going to talk about dirty stuff. I've never seen an Asian dude talk about dirty stuff, and I felt like for a whole generation of young Asian Americans who
What about that porno
maybe
we
necessarily
watched?
didn't have
Liar!
became an older brother / uncle when they had questions like that, So when I was doing my Dear Del Ghetto stuff, where they would send me their relationship and sex questions, that was one of the first things to really kind of blow my channel up.
Why does he call himself Del Ghetto? That's gangster culture.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Gangster
Anyway,
culture.
so that's that video, and then I just have one clip. So I also wanted to include his podcast with Andrew Yang because we watched Fun Bros with Andrew Yang. I also couldn't get through that one because I was just pissed. But yeah, I wanted to show a little clip from that. The title is Why You Should Vote for Andrew Yang.
Yeah, that'd be pretty difficult. Oh, one of the reasons why I wanted to come on with you all is that I'm really a pretty normal dude. I mean, you'd have to be a fairly weird person to run for president, so there is that thing. But the things that you like, I probably like too. It's like, just...
I think that's one of the reasons why, I gravitate towards, I told you from the very beginning, I don't know why you would want to be on the show, because I don't know much about politics, and you said that's exactly why you want to do it.
Bitch, someone said you gravitate towards me, you don't know anything about
Yeah.
politics,
What the
idiot.
hell? Stupid.
We vote at lower levels, we donate money at lower levels, we run for office at lower levels.
Actually,
And I tell people
the
very clearly,
Latinx
when you're growing up,
population votes at
certainly
lower
the way I grew up,
levels.
it's not like your parents were like, you're going to be president
Politics
someday.
major,
It was like,
called
get good
yourself
grades,
out.
Make a good living, do something reliable and consistent. And politics is not something certainly that was emphasized in my household. I think that's true in most Asian Americans' households. So one thing I'm grateful for is that I think my campaign can help energize Asian Americans in a different way. But if you arrive to the scene, like you just said, where you're not that into politics, that would be totally normal. And to me, it's one of the things I'd like to help change, because if we don't get politically engaged at some point, then things are just going to keep on changing in ways that we might not like.
Yeah, I think the only time that I really got into it was when Trump was running, right? So that's when I finally was kind of getting interested.
Yeah,
I guess that's the one
Finally?
thing to say that he did do is
Pretty
bring a lot of
obvious.
interest. Like you said, it's like a reality
Judging by the
show,
2015
he's a star.
video.
So he got a lot of people to care about politics. I will say that.
I've
and
been
now,
caring.
again, talking to a lot
Don't
of my
speak for
friends,
yourself.
Yeah, honestly.
Nice. They do. But I will say there is some pessimism where everybody keeps telling me, because I don't really know that much, and I'm certain they do know more.
Yeah,
They keep
you're
telling me,
stupid.
yeah, we love
Glad
Andrew
you know
Yang,
you're
but there's no way he's
Well, that's true. There's no way he's gonna
Stranger
win.
things
I'm
happen in
sorry.
American politics, that's for sure.
Also, you better not vote for a third party. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna beat you up. That's how Trump got elected.
Just watching this right now, most folks in Iowa and New Hampshire have not tuned in and have no idea who they're voting for.
Those are states.
So anyone who tells you that they know what's going to
Allegedly.
happen is lying, because no one knows what's going to happen. Like, no matter what
I don't even know where he's
data you have
from.
on,
What
your
state?
hands on.
Like Canada? I don't know.
He seems like
The
an
fact
East
that
Coast
we've gone
Asian.
from nowhere to 6
I feel like Virginia.
I'm going to be on the debate stage
I see.
in Houston this week. To me, that's actually a harder leap to make than being in 6th place, raising millions of dollars, being in all the mainstream news outlets, and then going from 6th to 1st. In part because the honest truth is that if you look at the candidates who are above me, people have reservations about, frankly, all of them.
Well, I guess nobody
And that's okay. Well, actually,
thought there's no way Trump was going to win. So
Right. There was a point when there were a lot of people that said there's no
It's a
way
joke.
Obama was going to win.
Yeah.
And I said too, it's like, you guys, this is gonna date me a little bit. Bill Clinton kind of came out of nowhere. He was like the
No, he didn't. He already worked for for the White House. You liar. And Obama was a senator.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are the clips I have for y'all today.
He's boring.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. His jokes are...
Yeah, I watched some of his older videos while I was doing research, and like I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, I liked this.
Yeah. The only one that was funny was the iPod Human until I rewatched it, and he says the R word.
Yeah.
Even Fred is funnier than him.
Yeah, oh my god. And it's like, bro, you have ADHD. You should know not to make fun of like.
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, I also think it's interesting that they talked about like his mom, and it's like, oh, like Asian parent, and he's like, my parents aren't like Asian parents, but then like in other videos he's like, stereotypes are true. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel it's just kind of like classic man thinking, where he's just like, oh, things only matter when they apply to me. I don't know.
Yeah, we're Hawaii Asians.
Oh my god, yeah, Hawaii Asians are different. I'll say that.
Because, like, obviously, if his parents are like rich, then they're not gonna have to, or he has like something to fall back on.
Yeah, like his mom literally like does all his shit for him. Like even in other parts of the video, she talked about how like she like does a lot of like going to meetings with him, like talking to like contractors and like brands and shit like that. And like again, she was also talking about like cooking for him and his friends and cleaning up. And it's like,
wow,
you're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Like he's like almost 30, and like his mom literally just like still does everything for him.
Yeah. And so I think that's why he can't really compare himself to like other Asians, is because like, I mean, he was also saying like a lot of those stereotypes come like first gen.
He's like fourth
parents,
or fifth.
but yeah, he's like fourth or fifth, so he has generational wealth, especially if he's like able to like stay in Hawaii, because a lot of people have to like relocate, because like even if they've lived there for generations, like they don't have the money to stay. And so obviously he has generational wealth, and so he has like that fallback, like, and I feel like a lot of times like Asian parents or like East Asian parents will be like, oh, like don't go into something creative, because they know the risks that come out of that, and they know that they won't be able to like support their child. And so I don't know, like that's why it just kind of seems like disingenuous to me, and just like stupid. Like he just has like no awareness of like anything. But he also did drop out of college, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Seems like he's pretty stuck in like the mindset that he's had.
Yeah.
Privileged.
Yeah, like even before. I mean, I don't even remember, I guess, his old videos, but yeah, based on what you said about like watching them back, it seems like he hasn't really done any
no
growing.
change.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate, obviously.
It was kind of funny though when Paco was like, "Oh, you're better, son."
Oh yeah, I was like, that's true.
It's the X-ray technician, and I'm like, yeah.
I was like, that's kind of smart.
No, that's funny.
That takes skill.
I don't think I said this in the Fun Bros video, but you know how I was like, oh yeah, they have an older sister? She's a lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, like also like their family has the money to send her to law school, to send him to med school, and like, you know, so it's like
different between like Bretman and his sister Princess. I don't think either of them finished high school. Maybe Bretman, because Princess got pregnant, but neither went to high school. He's not going to college. It's very different, because like his parents didn't go to school either.
Yeah, and his like parents are like immigrants, like again, like
the accent, like your mom like does not really have an accent, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, she sounds like she's from Hawaii,
like Hawaii, exactly. Like your southern accent, like your, I was like, but like, compared to other people, like,
yeah, it's not
like, those stereotypes don't apply to you, dude.
Thanks for tuning in. This is our third installation of Ace, possibly final. Final
Yeah.
for the time being.
Unless
Yeah.
you pay us.
Unless you pay us. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about,
Yeah.
we'll put our Venmo links in the
Venmo links.
description.
And then we
So
can talk.
Yeah. If you have any comments about if you disagree or agree with what we said,
or both.
to what extent do you agree?
We're on the spectrum.
Where are you at?
Or if you like want us to discuss a certain YouTuber that we haven't already discussed, / like specific videos, maybe leave them in the comments below. We'll try to make it other.
Yeah, I'll try. Make sure to watch our other ones first, though. You will be able to understand some references.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch it.
Inside jokes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Follow our social media.
Follow our social media.
Bye.
Bye.